The Wild Robot. After a shipwreck, an intelligent robot called Roz is stranded on an uninhabited island. To survive the harsh environment, Roz bonds with the island's animals, trying to find purpose for her existence. Oh, and also brings up a baby goose. It's based off a trilogy of books currently out, written by Peter Brown and directed by Chris Sanders, who's behind projects like Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. I say these ones in particular because in my eyes, these are some great animations, and likewise, The Wild Robot is also really good. Dreamworks Animation, I believe, made a great decision to lean into more artistic aesthetics when they came out with Puss In Boots The Last Wish, with some great use of this watercolouring style. And I'm just really happy they decided to lean into that style again, because this film is it's just so pretty, man. There's a lot of moments throughout which you can just pause on and grab that image to use as wallpaper or even put it up as a framed painting. It distinguishes itself from competitors like Disney, and there's articles from director Chris Sanders talking about the ambition to make the animation feel explosive and expressive, and I think this does just that. They flex this as well, I mean, rightly so. There's some awesome scenes at the start which just look like it should be out of a Sony TV commercial or something like that, and as for the designs, everything looks rememberable. Our main characters are mostly animals, and their designs work pretty well into this theme. However, we briefly see humans in this, and that artistic choice doesn't really carry on over to them. Could be a design choice to make it seem more alien to our animal characters, but they look kind of generic, and I'll be interested to see when they make another one of these, how they'll tackle making humans stand out too. Anyway, so yeah, accompanying this 1 hour 42-minute visual treat, which alone I think makes it worth watching in cinemas, we have a really solid and heartwarming story. It's not a complex story, don't get me wrong, but it's well crafted nonetheless, and touches on some surprisingly heavy themes like death and abandonment, which I think are really well handled. The opening 10 minutes is also just quite intense. I can imagine a small child maybe finding the opening difficult, but I think that problem dissipates very quickly as our main robot slowly adapts to this new wilderness. And yeah, like I said, there's just so much heart here. And there's a handful of scenes here, coupled with the art style and the music, which just proper had me going. I don't know, I couldn't see myself in the cinemas, but I was probably doing some ugly crying, who knows. The score is wonderful, and with a couple of emotional songs used really fittingly in crucial times. And thankfully the film doesn't drag, it's just an hour and 40, which I think makes it digestible for younger kids still. And then finally I just want to talk about the voice cast, because it is stacked. And not just from a showreel, look at these famous actors perspective that you might argue are in a lot of other animations where celebs are hired mainly for marketing purposes. No, I really think the voice acting itself in here is well executed. Lupita Nyong'o as our robot Roz, I think really balances that gentle warm voice mixed in with that robotic quirkiness. You need that in order for it to convince you that this robot, once hardwired for service work, is slowly learning to adapt to its surroundings through motherly care. So she's awesome. Kit Connor is our main goose, Bright Bill, and I think he crushed it too. And then you have Bill Nighy as Longneck, our wiser, older goose mentor, which was just the perfect casting choice, I feel. He gives us some speeches during this that remind me so much of his role in About Time. That wise mentor where everything he just says hits home. The other two that really caught me off guard was Fink, our fox, who I didn't even realise until the end of the movie that he was voiced by Pedro Pascal. He's that good in the role, where I couldn't even tell it was him. And the same goes for Mark Hamill as the bear. They're hired talent who have experience in voice acting already, and they're playing characters, not themselves, and it just goes to show how much of a difference that makes. This movie is honestly a happy hot pot of every element working well and coming together to make what I think could probably be one of my favourite films of the year. It's a great one both kids and adults will enjoy, and I would definitely recommend checking this one out. So that's The Wild Robot. Have you already seen it? It's doing pretty well in the cinemas at the moment, so I'm quite happy about that. And if you have already seen it, then let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. And then the usual stuff, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime, and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.